Hi, I'm Jamey from Stonemeyer Games, and today I'm going to talk about a delightful little game that comes in a bag that looks like a bag of chips. The game is called Bag of Chips. Here's what the game looks like on the table. This is not my table. This is an image from Board Game Geek. And what you can see here is that you are given a hand of cards at the beginning of the game. And over the course of the game, you are drawing, or any player is drawing chips out of a bag. The whole game comes in this bag. You're drawing chips out of this bag and placing them on cards, depending on how many chips that card tells you to place. The hook of this game is, I had heard about this game and I thought it was a set collection game. It is not really a set collection game. Rather, it is a goal management game with a combination of perfect and imperfect information that leads to some wonderful tension in the game. Because at the beginning of the game, you get a hand of 6 goal cards. Those are all the goal cards that you get for the entire game. And so you have perfect information about goals that you might be able to achieve. What you don't know is which chips are going to come out of the bag. And that is the imperfect information. And that information is revealed slowly over the game. So in the first round, 5 chips are pulled from the bag and put on this little card. And after those 5 chips are pulled, you have to choose 2 goal cards from your hand to place them face down in front of you to say, these are not goals that I am pursuing. You can see the goals down here. So this is kind of an end game state where this player, looks like this player selected these 2 goals to eventually achieve. They said this goal is something that I will not achieve, and these are goals that I'm just going to ignore. Those are the ones that I'm discarding. So for the first 2 rounds, you just discard goals that you are not going to, that you're just ignoring. Nothing will happen with those goals. They're not happening for you. Then things get really spicy in the 3rd round, because that's when you choose these 2 face-up goals. They're not face-up at the time, but you put them face down, saying, I have hopes, or I have already achieved them, or I have hopes that the final draw of the game will reveal enough to meet these goals, so I can get 61 points and 30 points. And then you're also choosing in that 3rd round a card that you don't get to achieve. Sorry, I have a cursor over that, but you're saying, in this specific case, the card says that there are more orange chips than yellow chips. And you are trying to say this is not true. This condition is not true. Otherwise, you lose the 45 points on this card. So it's goal management with starting with imperfect information, but then increasing information as the game goes on. And it leads to a wonderful moment in the 4th round when at the beginning of the 4th round, you flip over your cards, you show the other players what you were hoping to happen if you haven't already met your goals. And odds are you probably haven't. What you're hoping to happen in the final round where you reveal, where 2 chips are revealed for all players. All players are sharing these chips, if I didn't make that clear. And it's a really wonderful moment. At that point, you add up the scores for that round, and you're not keeping score over the course of the game. Instead, you compare scores for that individual round. The player who has the highest score for that round gets 2 of these little tokens, and the player who gets second most gets another token. 1st to 4 wins, which I also thought was clever. That you're not scoring a billion points in the first game, and then no one else can possibly catch up to you. At most, you're getting 2 tokens, and other players can catch up to you. And if you do blow them away and get 2 points the second round, the game is over. No one else their game isn't prolonged with a very difficult long catch-up mechanism. So yeah, this game really, it caught me off guard. I was delighted by the goals. There's not a ton of agency in the game because you're getting a random hand of cards, but you are choosing those goals based on an increasing amount of information. It feels a lot like you're betting on stuff that will happen. You're betting that a condition will be met. And for a light, short game like this, it fits perfectly, especially with the rounds themselves being light. If you mess up with a goal, or if you end up with goals that just can't be met, so what? You're going to get a new round again in another minute. So I had a lot of fun with a bag of chips, and I definitely look forward to playing again. I'm very curious to hear your thoughts if you know of any other games like this. There are certainly games where you are choosing goals to meet, like in Terraforming Mars. You're choosing goals to meet, and you're hoping that you will meet them by the end of the game. But in those games, typically, you have agency over that. You have agency over whether or not you achieve those goals. In this game, you have no control over which chips are going to be pulled out of that bag. All you know is which chips have already been pulled out of the bag. That's the only information that you have, but you have no control, no agency there. The only agency is, there's information of which chips have been pulled and agency over which goals you choose to pursue. So yeah, that's Bag of Chips. Really clever combination of mechanisms. I look forward to playing again, and I look forward to hearing your thoughts in the comments below. Thanks.